roll. All right. Good morning, ladies and germs. Good afternoon, good evening, whenever you happen to be watching this. We are live right now in Time to Thrive. Oh, I found another one. Doesn't have to be 2025. Here we go. Keep finding the rhymes. And it is the 18th of December. And can by a show of thumbs up, can everybody hear me okay? I just want to make sure my microphone's at a good level. I'm not too loud. I'm not too wacky here. Okay, good. We have got an excellent time to thrive mapped out today, where we are going to do your final SWOT analysis for 2025, so we can map out our objective and our goals for 2026. I also have some cool announcements, and I'm going to give you guys something that I'm working on that will eventually get into the AI tools as well, but we're going to talk a little bit about it today. But essentially, it's a persuasion element that we can add into what we do for our content that was going to be very, very valuable. So we'll talk about that a little bit today as well. But without further ado, everybody good to get rocking and rolling? Everybody set? All right. So let me jump over to my slideshow. And I'll grab my share screen. Okay, here we are. Time to thrive. We've wrapped all the way around. Gigi, it's been a year. We've wrapped all the way around to another SWOT that we did something like this, almost identical, about 12 months ago to the day. So very cool to see how far we have come.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is our agenda today, everybody. We briefly touched on this. We're going to get nice and focused, review our checkpoints and check-ins, go over our roundtable and hot seat coaching. Level up lessons will all be about SWOT today. And we're going to talk a little bit about what was one of the big things that came out of 2025 for you. So scroll that question into the back of your minds, okay? So scroll that question to the back of your minds as I want to wrap up the call today with some big 2025 lessons learned and some gratitude for what this year has given us, and give us the chance to really rubber band ourselves for a great launch into 2026. But I show a thumbs up. Everybody good with that? All right, awesome. So let's do our thing, y'all. So if you can uncork your microphones, and we can do our little poem here, y'all. So is everybody ready? All right. In three, two, one. My mind is a garden.
My
My
thoughts
thoughts
are
are
the
seeds,
seeds,
and
I
I
can
can
grow
grow flowers, or I can
can
grow
grow
weeds. That is the thing, ladies and germs. That is the thing. I have to admit, I had a nasty weed grew up in my mind over the last week, and I have had to get ruthless about plucking it out. So, absolutely ruthless about it. Hmm. And sometimes we have to just simply muscle our way through getting rid of these weeds, don't we? Sometimes there's no way, there's no secret sauce, there's no massive new skill that we can learn. It's just muscle your way through the damn weed and rip it out. And I know that sometimes we look for the perfect tool to weed at an incredible pace, or to do all the weeds all at once with this one amazing tool. And we get into the scroll hole of AI to do with this a lot. And so this was one of my weeds in the past 7 days. And I just want to say, you guys, that what we're doing, right, is so crucial because authenticity and real Gigi and real Gary and real Michelle and real Kat and real Dorinka and the real Michael, the way we move, the way we talk, those are going to be the things that differentiate you in the marketplace for the next few years, right? Because as much as AI can do some amazing things, it still can't copy Gigi exactly. It cannot replace her. It can't replace your insight. It can't replace your humor. It can't replace your smile. It can't replace a lot of what makes you you when someone else is watching. And in this world where we're starting to lose the ability to trust our eyes, we're losing the ability to trust our ears, right? We have to find new ways of making sure that that trust bridge gets built. And what you're doing here, this personal brand style content that we do, that we focus on, I'm telling you guys, it is the golden tool to do it. Between that and actually doing physical speeches like Gary's doing, like being a real person on a real stage, right? Between authentically being you in front of the camera and authentically being you on a stage, those are the silver bullets, my friends. Silver bullets. Okay. And please write this concept down. Interview style marketing is going to be a huge boon for you as you grow your business, right? AI is going to get really good at creating 30 to 90-second videos that it's hard to tell whether it's real or not. If we watch something long enough, we'll figure it out. But it's going to get really good at these little short clips. So the more and more you and another person, because AI is going to suck at interviews, suck for a long time, right? It won't make the intuitive leaps that human beings can make during an interview process. It's not going to move and laugh the way people do with each other on an interview process. That is going to be a magic bullet for you in your marketing. Does that make sense, everybody? Any thoughts on that, y'all, as we before we just sort of move forward? Good morning, Jennine. But any thoughts on that, you guys?
Good morning.
Morning. Yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there that as you're considering, okay, how do I want to use content in 2026? How do I want to take what we're doing in content to cash and put even more fuel on this very effective fire? These are some of the tactics, you guys, that go into the strategy of building an authentic personal brand, right? Get interviewed, do interviews, right? Get on video Zoom screens like this, where there's two people on the screen and you're chatting with each other, or the screen is speaker view and it's flipping back and forth. What's that, Gary? I didn't hear you, buddy.
I just sent you the link to my Brian Tracy interview.
I got that yesterday. Yeah, thank you. I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I will. Yeah. But
Yeah.
those types of things are going to be more important. Drinka, these are things like getting some of these manufacturers into a Zoom call with you and chatting with them about their product, and then, trimming up that interview and using that. That's something that Just About Pets is going to do as a tactic, right? So these are things that I want you guys to really fold into your concepts, right? Jennine has this built in with her business because there's so many practitioners. They do cool things like they can interview each other, right? Which is great. But differentiating yourself between the freaking robots is going to be critical as we go forward because it's not going to get better. It will get AKA worse as we figure out how to work with this amazing tool, right? And here's the thing. You guys are amazing at what you do. I don't want you to be replaced. But in order to do that, you have to build such a powerful magnetic brand that you can't be. Right? Part of being that hero brand that I mentioned in the profitable promotions workshop, the acronym highly visible, right? Um, expert authority building, recession resilient is what the R stands for, or in this case, like resilient to replace replace resilience or something like that, right? Because those of us who are
Resilient
in the
to
knowledge
replacement.
business, right, we're at a danger. Good morning, Phil. Morning, sir. So
Good
anyway,
morning.
I had a nasty artificial intelligence weed that I had to pluck over the course of the last week because some very cool stuff came across my desk that I'm like, wow, that just completely replaces businesses like mine, just completely uproots them and ruins them. And so I had a little bit of fear, you guys. I had some fear, but realizing that AI can't do some of these things, but we have to lean into the things that it can't do then. Use it for efficiency and effectiveness, right? And frankly, I'll be really blunt about this for a moment because it's the last, well, I'm always blunt. But anyway, I hate the fact that some of these people are out there marketing the fact that AI is replacing 5 or 6 people on their teams. To me, that's disgusting. It should be making 5 or 6 people way more efficient than they were a month ago, not replacing them entirely. As a business owner, okay, that employs almost 30 people between my businesses, to walk in and fire somebody is heartbreaking. And to hand people their pink slips because I've replaced them with robots and bragging about that to get clients, to me, is it's gross. It's gross. And I don't know if that's what your guys' angle is on your business. Whatever floats your boat, do your thing. But as a business owner who employs real people who I have to look at in the eye on a daily basis, it breaks my heart to know that I have friends, like guru-esque influencer friends that have big companies that are like, this is sweet. I had 22 employees, I'm down to 10. I cut my payroll by 60% and replaced them all with artificial intelligence. They're bragging about this. And I'm like, the only thing that does is make you more money. And I'm not in business to make more money for me. That's fine. But I'm in business to make more money for a lot of people, including the people who I employ to do what we do. That's what in my opinion, that's what responsible entrepreneurs do. They care about the people that deliver for them so that those people can care about the people that they deliver for as well, which is clients. Anyway, I just have to get that off my chest to a group of people I think would Tracy retired, Dorinka, so I didn't have to I had to replace Tracy. She retired. But this is the thing, right? Is that as we get into this new era of being an entrepreneur and you have at your disposal an army of artificial intelligence robots that will work 24/7 for cheap, 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 almost nothing, you have to be very cognizant of what the human cost to that is, because that's who buys your product, that's who you do business with, and that's who people want to do business with as well. Just something to keep in mind. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, coolio. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm reading my thing here. Phil says, yes, so good. Integrity, care. Yeah, that's why we do business, Phil. Absolutely, buddy. Anyway, as I said, I got down a bit of a rabbit hole in the last 7 days, as we all can, right? I am human like everybody else. And I had to come to grips with why I was getting so angry about it. Internally, you know what I mean? Like, where is this anger coming from? And it was because I was really violated on a human level about going, I'm just going to replace all these people. Like, what are they going to do for a living now? How are they going to go buy their dinner? You know, I've got a bunch of people that I employ from the Philippines. They don't have a whole lot of money rolling into that country. They've just been hit by earthquakes and typhoons. If I show up and say, sorry, you guys, you're all fired because I replaced you with artificial intelligence, how are they going to put food on their table? You know, my graphic and media guy, Anthony, he's got 4 kids. How dare I replace him with an artificial intelligence tool just so I can have more cash in my pocket? Right? It behooves me to go out and make some more clients then if I want more cash in my pocket. So Anthony gets more and I get more and the clients are happy. Anyway, I digress. I'll get off my soapbox. Thanks, guys. I love you all. Letting me rant a little bit. It was funny because it took me a little while to figure out why I was so mad. I think that's what the 7-day rabbit hole was all about, was why am I pissed off about this and how do I reframe it? All right, checkpoints and check-ins, ladies and germs. So let's rock and roll. How are you doing on those KPIs? How are we doing on the KPIs? What's the leading and lagging indicators of our business, right? So revenue, sales, leads are lagging indicators. Facebook and Instagram KPIs are leading indicators, right? And just so a funny moment here, you guys. This is why you have to do, if you're running your promotional ads and you're boosting your posts, you have to take a look at what's going on, right? I had one ad that, no word of a lie, was getting me ridiculous return on views. Ridiculous. $5 for about 26,000 views on a single post. Gary's going, yeah, thumbs up. Problem, Gary, is that those are all vanity metrics. For some reason, Facebook was showing my ads to Nepal, right? In 3 days, I hit like 80,000 views on one of my videos. And I'm like, that's really good. Wow, Michael, you crushed it on this one. What the heck happened? $15, 80,000 views. Oh, great. It got shared a whole bunch. Everybody loved it, right? People whose names I couldn't understand were all commenting. And I'm like, what is going on here? I know we have an eclectic population in Surrey and White Rock area, but doesn't make sense. Anyway, long story short, take a look at where your ads are being shown. And I'm telling you right now, there's not a whole lot of entrepreneurship happening in Nepal. Just putting it out there. So, okay. I will give you guys a couple minutes here to make sure you've got these numbers. Did you hit your revenue goal? So in your paperwork, did you hit your revenue goal? How many sales did you make? Was that what you wanted? And what was the average value per sale? How many leads did you collect? How many did you want? And what were those social media KPIs? And if you're not getting the numbers that you want, when we get to our SWOT work later on today, you got to put that in as a weakness, my friends, unfortunately, right? Not hitting my social media numbers or not hitting my sales numbers. You have to put that in into your SWOT analysis and ask yourself a legitimate question. Why am I not hitting this? I love that Tony Robbins quote. Ask better questions, get better answers. Simple but true. Give everybody another minute here. Okay, so let's check in with you guys. By a show of thumbs up, who was able to hit their revenue goal? And you can put yes in the chat box if we can't see you. So who was able to hit their revenue goal for the last few weeks? Okay, no thumbs up here. What about in our chat? Anybody able to hit their revenue goal for the last few weeks? Okay, okay. And then what about your sales goal? So you made the amount of sales that you were looking for, although you might not have hit the revenue goal that you wanted. So average value per sale was too low. Anybody hit their sales goals? Jennine says yes. Okay, great, Jennine. Well done. Well done. So that just tells us, Jennine, that the average value, so people call this ACV, average cart value, or APV, average purchase value, something like that, was just a little low, right? So what was happening that people weren't buying the upsell, they weren't buying the next thing, or they were buying cheaper stuff, right? So you have to ask our question, why is that, right? See if we can solve that problem. Because these are all indicators of how to grow our business, right? Guys, remember, there's only 3 ways to grow your business, right? 3 ways. Get more clients, have them spend more, have them come back more. Full stop. So that's what this piece of paper does. This one page shows us how are we getting more clients? Are they coming back more frequently? And are they spending more money? That's it. Full stop. Okay, Kat. And then leads. Who was able to collect the amount of leads they were looking for? Yay! Way to go, Gigi. Nicely done. Nicely done. So that's great news. Great news. That's a leading indicator that you're going to get those revenue numbers that you want, right? A leading indicator of that. Now, the next stage is how do I close more of those leads? How do I bring them to a sale point, right? How do I get them to buy? Perfect. And so, and as we do this, you guys, Gigi's going to, uncovering this, and so are all of you as you go, that operating your business, okay, isn't just about what you do for the client after they've said yes. Right? As an entrepreneur, you are in sales mode and marketing mode almost all the time. Gigi's like all the time. Yeah, all the time. Right? Michelle's going to have this beautiful website in the first part of next month, right? Everything's going to be up, everything's going to be rolling, and now she's going to be like, okay, I've got the website. It's like, yeah, now it needs traffic. Now it needs attention. How do we do that? And then once the attention gets there, it's like, okay, now I've got attention. How do I sell from that attention? And these are all layers of building the tower that is your business, right? And give yourself the grace to realize that you're going to suck at some of this stuff before you're good at it, right? There's those 4 stages of learning. Remember, everybody, 4 stages of learning. You are, what is it? You are unconsciously incompetent, right? You guys have probably all heard this before. You're unconsciously incompetent. You suck at it and you don't even know how bad you suck at it, right? You're just that bad. It's like a lot of people with skating. They don't realize how bad they are because they've never really skated before, right? So they're unconsciously incompetent. Then they become consciously incompetent. They become very aware once they step on the ice of how crappy they are at skating, right? How bad they are at skating. My son has gone through this journey over the last 4 years, right? Then they become consciously competent. So they're getting good, but they really got to think about it, right? They really have to think about it. And it's a lot of brain power to get good. And they have to really focus. And then you become unconsciously competent. So you don't even think about it anymore. You're so good. It doesn't matter, right? It's not a big part of your brain power. And that is, when it comes to skating, where you eventually want these kids to get to when they're in their, early teens to mid-teens, that they've been on the ice for thousands of hours and now skating just comes naturally to them. It's like walking. They don't think about it. And that's what happens in your business. You will be fabulous at delivering what it is that you do, but you're going to have trouble with the sales. You'll be fabulous at selling, but you're struggling with the marketing and you're aware of it. You're just not, you just got to plug away to fix it. Keep working at it. Okay, let's go Facebook and Instagram KPIs. Who got the reach and the engagement that they were looking for? Who got the reach and the engagement that they were looking for? 5, 6, 10, 15, 20,000, 30,000 people. I accidentally stumbled into like 100,000 from Nepal. Damn it.
Michael, how did you know where that it was being?
So when you dive into the information about a post on Facebook, you scroll down far enough and there is a little tab that goes from demographics into countries. So the demographics obviously show the age range of who's watching. And then if I flip to countries, it shows obviously the major countries. And Nepal was like 77% of the views.
Wow. So what can you do to change that?
Stop that ad, really. But the funny part, Gigi, is that there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do. You can get into the meta ads settings and start playing around with it. There's also a very good chance that for some reason, Meta's locked into that particular audience when you're asking for like views or you're asking for a certain thing from the meta ad. So you could go in and say, I want engagement instead of views and see if you can trick the system into then showing it who you want it to show to. I was specifically trying to show this to my warm watch audience from September to November. So I don't know why I did that. I don't know why,
Okay.
right? And the cool thing now, though, is that I don't know for you guys, but Meta's getting much better at going, hey, do you want to talk to somebody? We can schedule a call with one of our ads experts. And so you can do that. The tricky part was that call was going to be scheduled for the 24th of December. And I was like, I'm not taking that call on the 24th of December. So, um, but I will, if it happens again, Gigi, I'll be sure to take the phone call and get some more clarity as to around how to do that.
Too.
But I have some pretty high level marketing groups that I'm a part of in Facebook, and so I've posted into there and had some interesting feedback. So we'll see. We'll unpack it and keep going. But I don't have a clear answer for you, unfortunately.
Okay.
But how you find it is down at the bottom of that info tab. Yeah. Okay, so was anybody by putting into the chat or show of hands here, anybody able to hit their reach numbers that they were looking for? Gigi's nodding her head. Did you get the amount of traction you were looking for, Gigi?
So I would say that yes and no. Like I didn't get a whole lot of posting done this week
Okay.
on Instagram, but people are reposting my stuff, which is
Wow.
helping because it keeps it going even though I'm not posting.
Mm-hmm.
So but I noticed like if I'm not engaging, I'm not getting the I mean, I was sometimes getting 200 people a day, followers.
Yeah.
So that's dropping down some, but it's because I've also not been actively engaging like I was before. So it takes a lot to do
It
this.
does. It does.
But
Yeah. Well, put that in your SWOT, Gigi.
but the payoff is that I'm getting people that are reaching out and they're showing me their pain points. And now it's just finding the people that really want to do something about it because an awful lot of people just kind of want to hold on to
Yes.
their garbage.
You know what I love about what Gigi's talking about, you guys, is it illustrates the power of building an audience first. Right? I hear this in conversations with prospects a lot. That, well, how long is it going to take to get results? Like and it's like, well, you have to build the audience first. You have to know what to talk about. Like Michelle and I yesterday in our one-on-one coaching, you guys went on a pretty good, was it 30, 35 minutes, Michelle? We were talking specifically about her ideal client and what problems they have. We walked through what's a day in their life look like? What's all this stuff? And what comes out of there is not only clarity for Michelle on how she can really help, and I'm sure that's an energizing feeling for her, right? Knowing that, oh my God, these people really do need help. I was in that spot. It sucks, right? And same thing for you, Gigi. Like, wow, and these people really do need my help. But what's great about that exercise is that you start to now use their language instead of marketer language.
Mm-hmm.
People know marketing, sales, copy. They know it. They feel it. They might not be able to put their finger on it, but they know when they're being pitched and they know when they're just being talked to, when they're just being helped. And most often that is about cadence and it's about word choice, right? Especially when it comes to writing copy. And so what I love, Gigi, is that you're building an audience, you're listening to them, you're hearing what their problems are, right? And it's going to be so valuable to then help you build those CSTPs, those complete solutions to tiny problems, because you've heard 15 different tiny problems. And you go, okay, I can build a very quick diagnostic solution for that person.
Yeah.
Right? As you said, like a quick quiz or something where, I've got a quiz now that's in a PDF format, you guys, that I'm handing out, and people get a score. They answer 6 questions, they get a score. And like, okay, well, my score was 12. And I'm like, well, that tells me these things. And then now I'm in a dialogue with a person about their marketing problems, which is what you want, right, Gigi? You want to be in a dialogue with them.
Mm-hmm.
But building the audience and listening is so powerful, and I love that you're doing that right now. It's very, very, very good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. The audience is the thing, you guys. The audience is the thing. Because when Gigi builds this massive audience that loves what she talks about, right? She can pivot and start selling a book in 6 months from now if she wants to, and she has a built-in audience of people that want to buy it. But if you don't spend the time to nurture and build the audience, you're always building product for a cavern full of empty people. And that's why when you get product focused, Gary, you felt this. You spent a bunch of time getting product focused rather than audience focused. And we've talked about dragging you out of that comfort zone, right? Don't get focused on product, get focused on the client that you want to serve, and the product will show up. But us technicians like to focus on products. It's our comfort zone. Okay, excellent. So let's talk wins, ladies and germs. Let's talk wins. Let's go around the horn here, everybody. Let's start with you, Mr. Gary. What was a big win over the last couple of weeks for you, my friend?
Uh, Working on business plan was a win. Recognizing where I'm at is a win. Understanding my point A is a win. Receiving my Brian Tracy interview, that's a win. I ought to, in the next week, I ought to be getting his recommendation for me being a speaker video. I'll also be getting from him on the interview. I just sent you the interview,
Yep.
Michael.
Yep.
And I'm getting during the interview there were like 3 or 4 cameras set up and a whole big thing, and I'm getting all of the recordings, and so that's still on its way, hopefully before New Year's.
Love it.
So that's coming.
Great, buddy. Good.
What else? Bought a new car.
Hey, there you go. Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty
Perfect.
cool. It's pretty cool. Got a
Oh,
2020 Lexus SUV.
oh, very nice. Very nice. Well, drive on up to BC, buddy. We're waiting for you.
All right, I'm there.
Oh, Andrew's sporting his colors this morning. Morning, Andrew.
Morning.
Michelle, how about you? Wins for the last couple weeks for you?
I think it's just having my website under development. That's exciting. And getting all that stuff to you to kind of make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. And you got a really good logo.
Thank
Fun
you.
logo. Yeah, very pretty. Love it. Mr. Conway, wins for the last few weeks, buddy.
I'd say the wins having more. I'm having talks on other people's posts, which is attracting them to have a conversation with me, which I've been, looking for people who are possibly we could share together, or they're demonstrating a problem I can help them solve, and just helping them solve it in their posts. And then we'll see where it goes from there. But it was getting positive engagement from people, not only who posted it, but people who were in their, comments as well too. So trying to just stir up the pot, however it can happen.
However we can stir. Love it, buddy. That's good. You got to get attention, right? You got to get attention. It is the number one resource today. Good stuff, buddy. Keep it up. Love it. Okay. Let's go to Jennine. I saw her lovely face pop on here. Hello, hello.
Hello.
So, wins for the last couple weeks.
The 3 of us business partners, we developed a schedule.
Ooh.
So like a really long timeline for ongoing videos and a schedule, and it feels good. And we're just trying to like fill in the gaps for how things are going to be sustainable when I'm also not going to be present at the clinic over the next half a year. So yeah, just with mat leave. So we're coming up with a plan that's going to work for everyone. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
Mat leave. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
soon.
What's that?
It's coming up soon.
When
Yeah.
is your due date? I didn't even know. I didn't know. Did anybody else know? I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. February 1st is
Wow.
estimated due date. So I'm done work now. So now I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out some of these other systems that are going to be reliable when I'm not physically present. So we're using
Mm,
like our office manager to step in, creating these systems and schedules and trying to fill in the gaps. So yeah,
love it. That's amazing. Congratulations. Do you know
thanks.
what you're having? You're having a little
Oh
boy.
boy. Yeah.
Oh man.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, whatever you do, just don't let them grow up to be like Gary, please. Look, just don't let them grow up to be like Gary. Okay. Let's go to Mr. Andrew. Andrew Dove wins for the last couple weeks, my friend.
Wins for me, I guess I've had last couple days some people from my networking group and networking come reach out to me finally for some questions about
Good.
mortgages, which has been good. Then I've had set up a presentation, I guess, with a financial advisor and realtor for early mid-January, I guess, to talk about reverse mortgages and seniors and stuff like that. So those are two big wins this last few weeks.
Love it, my friend. That's great. That's critical, dude. Critical. Get yourself out there.
Yeah.
Love it. Well done. Okay. And I don't know if I don't Drinker, you can put it into the chat whether you're able to share a win for the last few weeks. If you can open up and croak out a win for us, that would be great. If you can't, we totally understand. Just fighting off that cold. I saw her. She did pop onto the camera when she first came in, but we shall see. Okay, nothing from her at this point. All right. So, some excellent wins, you guys. Give each other a round of applause. Well done. Some good wins, some good traction. We got some lead flow. We got some very good sales volumes. So that's excellent stuff.
I have a win, Michael.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. Sorry, Gigi. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Yes,
So
Gigi.
my
Win.
win is I set up my pipeline in, I know.
Did you?
I set up my pipeline and I created my personalized like contact sheet
Yeah.
and got started getting people in there. And yeah, like that's a really big win because that just felt like that was something that was like way too technical for me, but chat really helped me out a lot. It was awesome because I kept just pushing most of the time it was pretty spot on. And if it wasn't, I could kind of figure it out, or I would just take a picture
Yep.
and send it to it, and it would say, "Oh yeah, you're doing perfect." And then would look into it. It was great. It was very
I
good.
love it. So is this the chat that you were using inside Hourglass then?
No,
Okay.
it was Chat GPT.
Oh, ChatGPT. Okay, perfect. Got it. All right.
Yeah. So, but I just think that it's good for everybody to know that chats, they must just have really good, great stuff for go hey level because, most everything was spot on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Awesome. Love it, Gigi. Well, that's one of those like legitimate business automation pieces that feels so good once you have it inserted, right?
Yeah. And I think the other thing to note is that it would then, like, chat would actually then say, by the way, you can do this, this, and this as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was where felt like my limitation is that I don't know all that the program can do. So I don't even know to go there.
Right.
So just
Love
for
it.
anybody else's, it's just
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Go use ChatGPT. It will help you with understanding what the Hourglass / Go High Level product is good for.
Yes, and I know you probably have really great videos, Michael. I was like, I'm gonna go watch the videos if I can't figure it out with chat, but
You didn't need to. No, it's all good. It's all good. Thank you for the share, Gigi. I'm so
at
sorry. I
least
don't know
it's
how I
getting
missed it.
started. It's going. Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Okay, awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, Drinka says, Win was going out wearing PJs for a market. There you go. Stepped out of her comfort zone and it was fun. I continued to wear them when customers came to the shop. Nice. A full-on PJ day. Got it. Beautiful. Okay, we have got 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
4.
Hey, Michael,
Yeah.
there's a chat in Lighthouse?
In
Looks
Hourglass.
like it
Yeah.
is. I have not seen it. And would it
Yeah.
do the same thing?
It's people, so it's better.
Oh, that's that. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a
Yes.
troubleshooting there, and you can, and I know that like Drinka, myself, I've had hour-long conversations with with those people, right? With my service team there. They're like,
Okay.
okay, how would I do this? How would this work? What else could it do?
Well, I'm going to be attempting my my landing page in the next couple of days, so I might be trying that out.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank
There you
you.
go. Congratulations. And you can start with templates for that too, Gigi. It makes life a little bit easier. Yeah, I think there's about 12 or 1500 funnel templates in there. So there's a lot. A lot. Okay, let me see here. We got one, two, three, four, five, six. All right, so I'm just looking at timing here, y'all. Okay, so we're going to have 3 minutes each to do our challenge conversation. So not too long, everybody. With only sort of 6 participants, because Kat hasn't come back. I don't think we're going to divide you up into 2 groups. So we'll do it that way. Um, and so is everybody good with that? We'll do a 3 minute real quick whirl around with our challenges. Okay, so I'll give everybody 30 seconds here to write down what challenge they want to tackle. And I'm going to grab some water. I'll be right back. Okay, just give me a thumbs up, you guys, once you have your challenge written down. Okay, Janine's got hers. That's great. Thank you. Carrie's not sure what his is. Okay, Andrew's got his challenge. Perfect. Good, good, good. Well, we'll give Gary a little bit of time to puzzle on it then. Oh, whoops. I lost you guys. Clicked on the PowerPoint. There we go. So let's go to, well, we'll start with Jennine. She gave us the thumbs up first. So we'll start with Jennine. Jennine, what's the challenge? You got 30 seconds and then 2.5 minutes of brainstorming. Go ahead.
Just the time commitment from practitioners. We rely on the practitioners for the videos and the time commitment to film. And this time of year is just really tricky with busy schedules, people taking time off. And so, yeah, so it's just a matter of kind of staying on top of things. Deadlines are just seem to be pushed right now.
Mm.
So that's just what we're dealing with, kind of chasing people, and it's okay. Just part of it.
So are you looking for some sort of accountability tool or accountability concept?
I think it kind of comes down to us to like in my head, I just had a meeting with Cody. And I feel like it's us just saying like, here's the deadline. Um, please try to meet that, right? Like really holding people accountable to some of this stuff.
Okay,
Um, so yeah, it's just a different challenge this time of year, I think, in the last couple weeks of the year. So
got it. Okay.
yeah, but that's it.
Anybody have any suggestions for Jennine?
Yeah, it's more of an us thing than
Sometimes it's good, Jennine, to have both a carrot and a stick in these situations,
okay.
right? So painting the picture of what the value is of getting it done.
Yeah, that's true.
right? So leaning into that because not all like as operators, you guys, we don't always want to be like do this or else, right? Like that gets
I
old really
know.
fast.
Because this is an optional thing that people have opted into to help improve their business. So we
Yeah.
don't want it to feel like one of those mandatory tasks where it's like it's also not in their contract. They're independent contractors, but here's an opportunity to grow your business that's not costing them anything. It's just a bit of a
Hmm.
commitment. So
Hmm.
um and yeah, the kind of the way we need to rephrase it, I feel moving into this new chapter is January is one of those months in healthcare that is, it's just always a little bit odd. Like some people go away or they're busy. So I think setting up things so that it's already running and functioning in January to help with their business,
Yeah.
and the growth of the clinic would be a better mindset than just being like, hey, here's some deadlines. So we're just
Yeah.
working on that.
Jump in, Phil. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I was just going to say what you were saying, Gene, too, the idea that from their own perspective, can they see the chairlift that takes them up to the first bunny slope? So now they can see the peak of the summit. And once they're at that summit, there's another summit, but they'll figure it out once they can see what was the benefit of me to get on the chairlift at the bottom first, and
Hmm.
then they'll see their way through it and what it means for them and what it means for the group together, because they might not see it that way at the moment.
That's a good point. And in the past, I've shared some of the reach on Instagram and shown them kind of behind the scenes of here's how many like the population that you're reaching, here's the engagement, which they're not always looking at. So maybe that's a good reminder for me to circle back to that. It's a good call. Thank you.
Yeah, love it. Oh, there we go. Celebrate, Jennine. You made it. Ta-da. I would also add to you guys that people will do all sorts of crazy things for just a couple of arrows on their shoulder. Right? In other words, if you paint a picture, Jennine, where you've got inside the culture of your business people that participate and how and what you're celebrating them and they're like they're being put on a bit of a pedestal versus those who are not quite
Mhm.
often then and it's just try and do it naturally, like it doesn't have to be obtuse, but
Yep,
if you do that then suddenly people are like, oh, I want to be in that group too, right?
true.
So that can help.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's go to Miss Michelle. Michelle, what was your challenge over the last few weeks that we can tackle? Go ahead.
Um, it seems kind of silly, but it's just consistency and like logging in. I know yesterday when we had our call, I'm like, oh, I forgot my password. It's because I'm not logging in every day. And I know I
Mm,
just need to do it. And like, so I don't know.
okay, how can we help Michelle out with some consistency elements, you guys?
I end up making a calendar when I want to do something on a day-to-day basis. Where is it? I've got it here somewhere. It's here it is. When I end up, and it's something from another group that I'm in, but it's just you take a calendar, it's 1 to 31 days. You write down what you want to be doing every day up in the top, and then you just make an X. You can't really see it. Yeah, this thing's. I'm trying to hide my. Where is my video? There we go. I'm trying to hide that I'm in the hotel room still. Uh,
Gary, you don't have to hide that you're in a hotel.
I get stuff from some other people. Anyway, you want to do something every day, and you say what it is up in the top, and then every time you actually do it, you put in an X, and then you don't worry about what's going into the future and all the blanks in the future. You just don't want to. You don't want to stop the streak. You just keep the X's going.
All right, kiddo.
Jerry Seinfeld would call it, Michelle, don't break the chain.
Don't break. That's it.
He said when he was learning how to be a really good writer, right, he would write jokes every day. And he made a commitment to never break the chain. And 38 years later, he'd never broken the chain, and he's one of the greatest comedians of all time. So it's a system of accountability like that is great, but then it has to require the individual to say, I'm going to commit to this every day. And he said he wouldn't break the chain of X's or circles or whatever he was doing on his calendar. He did the same thing Gary's just showing, literally the exact same thing. Had a calendar, would put an X on it. And
Right.
is like, I got really upset if I came close. If it was 11:15 at night, I would go home and half cut still try and write a joke because he didn't want to break the chain.
Okay. Thank you.
So I think what Gary's getting at, and that we can all remember here, is that come up with a very simple system, super simple, and then commit to it. Right? You've heard me say this before, like put on that pair of clothes and see if it fits. Right? Well, there we go. I think it can be just that simple, Michelle. Okay, cool. Gigi, challenge. Throw it down.
I don't think I'd have one to. I
Nothing?
mean, no, I think I'm pretty clear on what I'm doing, and like I'll just add on to Michelle's stuff. Like I just got done what I was doing right up before the meeting was I was loading all the stuff that I feel like I need to do instead of letting my brain be on overload. I put it into chat and I was like, help me make a calendar and prioritize what needs to be done. And I know, like my networking, once I figured out, it's like about 4 hours that I'm going to be needing to put into it per day just to keep nurturing and keeping that going. That's a lot when you start, like, so you can't necessarily get everything done that you think that you should be able to get done. But when you start realizing how long it takes to do these, and you're like, oh, well, like now I get it. So I'm not going to beat myself up over not getting some things done. But having chat helped me keep almost on that schedule because it really hit last week with me that would I hire myself? Well, of course I would, but I need to be more efficient and treat myself almost like I am an employee. We got this to do, this to do, this to do, this to do, and go from there. Not let myself get sidetracked or overwhelmed.
Love it. So then is your challenge, how do I give myself
What's
a
up, sweetheart?
raise as an employee?
Calendar shopping.
Yes.
Yep.
I think my challenge is being able to do this, but focus on what's going to be making me money.
Yeah.
And I'll just to share with you guys, I'm in Canada. I'm in Swift Current.
Nice.
And the people I'm staying with, they're going away and won't be back until after New Year's. And I'm gonna stay here. I'm not going to go stay with family. I'm gonna stay here and focus my work because I really feel like this is the time of year to really set myself ahead. So I've made that decision. For me not have, like this is the first year that I've not been around my kids or family or anything for just being by myself. And like, I'm going to embrace what I'm doing with this business.
Feels like a big pivot for you, Gigi. That's great.
It's a huge pivot, but I know that the payoff will be so much better at the beginning, we can celebrate family and together time then.
Love it. There we go. And we celebrate. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Thank you, Gigi. Awesome. Mr. Phil, how about you, buddy?
I really have not identified a specific challenge. I know there's some because results aren't there. So I'm retooling with this perspective. I'm still calling a prospective client in so that they can enroll with me and stop my distraction from trying to enroll this one big client and start really just attracting small people. Got to get back to doing videos consistently. And that's what's I got to focus there, not get distracted by the big fish. That's the challenge, I guess. I'm distracted by the high 6-figure, 3-year, long-term deal. I want to engage more with the short term building, and that's where it is.
Okay.
Keep
So
my
how
eye
can
on
we
the
help him
lower.
with that, everybody? Any suggestions for Phil? Oh, you're muted, Gary. Can't hear you.
I'm just going to say decide who your avatar is, and write it up. Redo your avatar sheet. I know I'm in kind of in the process of redoing mine.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I also think that attraction, I'm attracting people to me. I'm not going to go out and find people. I'm going to attract them. If I focus on building my brand, like Michael says, right, then I am not only building my brand, but I'm building myself, and I'm attracting people. And I see that already from what I've been doing. I have people that are reaching out to me, and so it's a different way to look at it. Like, I don't have to push through, and I just need to be me and know that my light is enough. And it's up to me to get the light out there so that I can attract the right people to me.
Thank you.
Yeah, those two things go hand in hand, Phil. Ideal client, understanding who they are really clearly, what their problems are, how you can serve them, and then, as Gigi said, you're making the video so that they get to know you, like you, and trust you. All right. What else we got? We got 25 seconds left. What else can we help Phil with here? How else? Any other suggestions? I think, Phil, you're on the right track, my friend. Right? Big fish take a while to reel in. So in the meantime, we got to put food on our tables. We got to pay for the roof over our heads. We have to feel abundant. And I'll tell you something, man. When the big fish showed up in my life, when I've had that happen, like big contracts, it's normally because I'm in demand, not because I'm out there looking. Because I have a different energy too. I have an energy of I don't need you, which is very attractive.
Yes.
Right? Gigi's clapping away. Like,
That's
and just like moving beyond his business attraction for a moment, the most attractive men on the planet, and I think the women can attest to this, are the ones that don't need their help. They're self-sustaining. They're powerful men. They don't, and the most attractive women that I've ever met in my life, they don't need me at all. I am a complement to their beautiful lives. I am not the thing that completes their life. I am a complement to their life. That's just me. But when I have found, like, trust me, I love my wife and I'm very attracted to her. She doesn't need me at all, right? She loves me. She wants me in her life, but she doesn't need me. She's a very self-sufficient person, right? Anyway, but it's being not needing something makes you an attractive person for what it is that they want, for sure. Okay, where are we at here? All right, so Mr. Andrew, challenges or challenge.
Challenge. My biggest challenge is still getting my Meta account back so I can actually put money behind it still. So I think I got it. Tried to do it. I think it was last week. I think I got it, and then they never actually shut down the one promotion that was running. So it still had charges against me. So I'm trying to get that figured out. But my challenge is once that's solved is getting my CTSP and getting the automation set up with in the hourglass thing. So when it's ready to go, then I just put some money behind it for a few more weeks again. Then I have stuff ready to go to retarget the audience, and it's all set up, which is something I want to get done over the holidays here. So yeah, it's staying on track during the holidays, I guess, and getting those two things done.
That's a good challenge.
Yeah.
How can we help Andrew stay on track during the holidays? Well, you could do what Gigi's doing and just, go into the middle of rural Saskatchewan and
Shut myself in.
get
Look,
buried
I'm
in
probably going to be regretting
children.
this later, but
I'll be regretting this later.
But
Are you
Yeah, I think
snowed in?
Yeah.
if I miss, my mom's already upset that I'm missing Christmas at her house and I'm going on Christmas Eve, let alone missing them both.
Yeah.
I'd be in the grave 6 feet down.
Yep.
But I think for me, it's just try to set a couple hours each day or something, just to focus on that, or even an hour while my daughter's napping or something like that, and
And don't break the
just
chain.
don't break the
Like we
chain.
talked
Yeah,
with Michelle, right? Like don't break the chain.
yeah,
Be committed to that hour of work where you're doing it, right? And know that in an hour of work, you can't get much done. So make sure it's 90 minutes.
I mean, yeah,
You know what I mean? Like if you want to work for an hour, you guys, you got to give yourself 90 minutes because you know,
Hmm.
especially this time of the year, there's 15 or 20 minutes at the front end where you're useless.
and the back end, and usually in the middle too. So about 2 hours.
Well, that's just an Andrew problem.
That's my problem. Yeah,
That's an Andrew problem. Right? But that's really important. Give yourself the grace of going, I need to do an hour of solid work, which means I probably need 90 minutes to 2 hours of time.
Right. And that's what I was saying, that it's like we have to be honest with ourselves. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, ideally, I can sit down and I can get these messages out to people, but in 45 minutes. But no, I sometimes takes, 15 minutes to get one dang message.
Mhm.
But but yeah, Andrew, I would say 90 minutes. I
I
like
think,
that.
yeah, I think so. Because I think I had the automation thing. I watched like first 5 minutes of video about 3 weeks ago, and then I haven't got back to it since. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, so that's definitely get that done.
And this time of year with little kids, it's one of those things. And and how do I want to put this? As someone who also has parents that have a little bit of sort of the guilt thing that comes into play here, Andrew, because they're like, why aren't you at our house and those types of things? Man, at some point, some people in your life have to realize that you have a family, you have a little family, and part of your whole job as a parent is to make sure that that Christmas day is phenomenal for that little family. Everything else becomes completely secondary.
Yeah.
Just
The downside is my mom's birthday's on Christmas too, but
oh well, there,
we also get together for everyone's birthday on their birthday, so this
there we go. There we go. Okay, Mr. Gary, final 3 minutes, my friend.
You can make it one. I need to decide about housing. Not that I think that I've got some more inputs that I need to get as far as what's going to really happen, and that's probably my biggest. I sold my house. I sold my everything. I moved from LA to Colorado, and we'll see. Things aren't perfect, so I'll leave it at that. And so I need to figure out what I'm going to do. And I don't see. Let me see. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's my biggest problem right now.
You know what, Gary? I heard you say that you needed to figure it out, but I know you, and you get to do this.
Get to. It's true. That's true. Well, and part of it is, am I going to choose housing at all? Am I going to go get something am I going to go rent a house for a year? Or am I just going to stay in the hotel for a year? And if I do that, what does I've got two big pods full of stuff, and I don't know where to put those. Some of the stuff I need, you know what? I'm in a little, what is this, maybe 300 square foot hotel room, and I've got my big 32-inch computer monitor, and I've got my printer, and I've got my stuff, and I've got some other stuff that I brought that I wish I'd have chosen other stuff, but there's the and the other stuff is in these big pods, and oh my God.
Well, maybe you get to embrace the new situation.
Yeah.
Because it's
I'm
helping
halfway
maybe
thinking
because you
about-
don't have all the other stuff. You get to focus on what's right there.
Yeah, which has been good. And it's amazing. I've been able to anything that I really wanted and I really needed, I just bought it and I had them delivered.
Mhm.
It's been from that context, it's been great.
Because
My
Gary, the funny part, guys, is that Gary wound up, putting into pods his entire underwear collection, like all of it. So it was like an immediate need.
Yeah, there's all the ones with the hearts and
Yeah,
the
they're all the ones that were labeled Gary Glass.
yeah,
Whose are
Monday.
these?
Hey, thank you.
It'll find you, Gary.
Yeah, yeah.
The answers will find you, right? As Gigi said, just attract them, right? And the only thing I would ever, in situations like what you're in right now, I would never do a pros and cons list.
Oh, that's not going to work.
Yeah. Some people think, I know you're an engineer, and sometimes we think in binaries, and it's like, that's not what this is about.
That
Yeah.
problem is not on my yellow pad.
All right. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Very good, you guys. I think that covers everybody because poor Darinka's still sick and Kat's messing with kids here today. So give each other a round of applause. Thank you. Some good stuff came out of there, right? And out of those ideas, please make sure, take the next 15 seconds or so, look down at what you wrote down, look down at what was given to you. Which one you want to lean into? What is it that from talking about these challenges you can take from this conversation? And maybe it wasn't something that somebody said for your challenge. Maybe it was something that somebody said for someone else's challenge too. Remember, this is an aggregate process. There's a lot of good brains here. A lot of good brains. Okay. So let's jump back over to the PowerPoint and we are going to touch on SWOT analysis, my friends. Pardon me. So, SWOT, 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 SWOT. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Right? This is where we find opportunity in our businesses to grow, where we find the dangers in our businesses that are causing us to fall down or stay stuck. Okay. A SWOT is a very, very effective exercise at isolating where we need to focus our energy. Because where focus goes, energy flows. And these things take energy, they take time. As Gigi and I both put it, normally they take more time than you think they're going to take, especially when you want to do a good job. And so ultimately, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threat, a SWOT analysis helps us define the compass that's going to dictate the next 90 days. All right. So we have enough time here, you guys, that you guys are going to do, we're going to give this a good 6-7 minutes here to work on this and actually define some of these things. So we have the space today to take your sheet. If you have printed this off, that's great. Remember, these are inside the back office. If you want these documents, they're all back there. Also, they are, or if you just take a sheet of paper, you guys, or your tablet, whatever you're writing on, put that big, huge X, cross or whatever it is, big plus sign throughout the middle, divide it into 4 sections: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Done. So let's go over this. Okay. Strengths and weaknesses are internal elements of you and your business. Most of you here are incredibly key cogs to your business. Wouldn't you agree with me? You're kind of the centerpiece there, Mr. Conway, right? So when we talk about strengths and weaknesses, we're talking not just about your business. We're talking about Gary Glass. We're talking about Jennine McCann. We're talking about Gigi Damble, right? This is an opportunity to explore where are your strengths, where are your weaknesses. So by examining both your company's strengths and weaknesses, we can identify areas of marketing power and potential risk. And these are all internal elements. Okay? So we will start here. We're going to start with strengths and weaknesses. We'll talk about opportunities and threats afterwards. But by quick shout out, you guys, let's get the idea ball rolling. Open up your microphones and just free for all here. What are strengths that a person or a company can have?
Internal resources.
Say it again, Gary.
Internal resources. I mean, my
Yep.
own, I don't know, my courage to put myself out there.
Courage is one. Yeah, love it.
My my ability to make a decision is another.
Great.
My ability to make a plan
Yeah,
and to follow it. My resourcefulness.
good. Yep. What other strengths? Let's hear from somebody else too. Gigi, what do you think? What are some other strengths that a person or a business could have?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the first thing for myself is I wrote heart-centered.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
That
Good.
Consistency.
that's probably a weakness in some
Hey, you know what's funny is some strengths are also weaknesses, right?
Mhm.
You know, Gary's got enough resources on his computer to bury a small country in paperwork, right? With how much, personal development stuff he's got on his computer. That is a strength of his, but when he opens it up and he gets into the deep dive of it and, 14 days later he finally picks his head up, it's also a weakness. As I
We
throw
love you,
Gary under the bus.
Gary.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that like none of this is new to him, man. We've sat there in our coaching calls, and I'm like, dude, what is this? And he's like, oh, I go down here, 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 go down here. Okay, Jennine, what do you got? You open up your microphone. What's the strength?
Consistency and strategy.
Yeah, love it, love it, love it, love it. What else? Let's get one more concept of strength out there, and then we're going to talk quickly about weaknesses, and then we'll let you guys brainstorm. One more strength.
Leadership,
Leadership. Love it, Phil. Very good. Yes.
burning
Okay,
desire,
Phil, give us a
purpose.
weakness.
A weakness. Focus on self.
Yeah, for sure. Navel gazing. Yep. Yep. What other weaknesses could a business have, you guys? And remember, these are just to trigger ideas for you, right? Just to get the concept flowing.
I'm going to say lack of clarity.
Yep, for sure.
Closed mind.
Closed mind. Man, that's a tough one. Yes.
Time management.
Time management. Yes. Yep. One more. What's one more weakness?
Money management.
Money management. Absolutely. Absolutely. Note that so many of these weaknesses are topics for Time to Thrive. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to give you guys the next 4 minutes. I want you to get at least 5 strengths, at least 5 weaknesses written down inside your SWOT analysis for you and your business. In the meantime, I am once again going to need more water. I shall be back. Okay, 2 more minutes. Okay, 30 seconds, everybody. And then we're going to go to threats. Okay, good, good, good. I still see people writing. That's great. That's great. Okay, by a show of thumbs up, did we get some good stuff? Uncovered some weaknesses that we can work on, uncovered some really good strengths. Okay, excellent. Excellent. All right, so let's talk about threats. Let's talk about opportunities and threats. So there are always evolutions and changes happening in every marketplace. We talked about artificial intelligence starting off today's call, right? And where can you take advantage of things? Where do you need to be wary of things? What do you need to be really cognizant of in your ideal client's world, in your particular business venture, right? Like in Gary's case, if he's going to get into speaking, he's going to get into selling to Fortune 500 companies. What does he need to be aware of in the landscape of that particular industry and those particular people that he can be zigging when others are zagging, that he can stand out from the crowd? Like, what can he do, right? What are some of the opportunities in that realm? What are some of the threats? In Gary's case, big, huge businesses that have already been serving this community for a long time are a threat to him being able to succeed. How does he deal with that, right? How does he differentiate himself right off the hop so he doesn't get put into the same bucket? So, threats and opportunities are external elements of your business. These are things that Gigi does not directly control. They are not about her. They're not about her product. They're not about her service offering. They're not about those things. They are about external elements, right? In Jannine's case, she was talking about the fact that, okay, it's January. It's weird in our industry in January. How does Jennine deal with that threat? So sometimes threats are seasonal, right? So, what are some opportunities and threats, you guys? Let's go quick 60-second brainstorm here. What are some opportunities and threats? They can be very specific to your industry to start with because you know about it, and we can expand out the concept in our own minds from there. So, what are some opportunities and threats that you guys can think of? Let's go opportunities first.
Well, based on our earlier conversation, I think we can put AI in both.
Yeah, you bet you can. Absolutely, Gary. Put a big top of the above the fold, as they say.
Exactly.
Yeah. What else we got? What else is an opportunity?
I think the external fear of the economy, what's going on with the economy, and I consider that in our businesses, for the most part, I consider that to be a an opportunity
Okay, great.
here.
Yep. There's whenever there's fear, there's opportunity. You betcha. Love it. What else we got? What else is an opportunity, you guys?
For my industry, I guess the housing prices coming down, so that opportunity for new people to get in.
Love it, Andrew. You betcha. Perfect. Okay. So when prices come down, when marketplaces shift, Absolutely. What else we got?
I would being, creative with the different holidays and like, for example, for Valentine's Day
Mhm.
could be like a couples class or course.
Totally. Love it. Yes, very good opportunity. You betcha. Okay, so what about some threats, right? Economy and AI are certainly threats and opportunities. Those are, and often we'll see strengths, weaknesses. Opportunities, threats are flip sides of a coin.
Yeah, the magic is to stay on the side of the coin. There's three sides of the coin.
There you go. Okay, what else? What else is a threat?
Um,
This time of year for people's schedules to be very busy, like
oh,
for healthcare, I'm talking specifically.
Absolutely, Janine. Yeah, you betcha. And in Janine, in your case, human resources, human capital
Yeah.
is a steady threat for you, right? People leaving to start their own versions of your business, people leaving to go into other things, people leaving for other reasons, right?
Mhm.
So what is that? How do you want to deal with that threat? Right?
Don't remind me.
Yeah, well, but that's
No, I know.
right. We
Yeah.
got to prepare for these things.
Yeah.
Okay, what else we got?
I was just gonna say lack of awareness from,
Yeah,
or lack of, people not they want to complain, but they don't want to actually do the work to make the changes.
there you go. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I was going to amplify what Gigi just said too. It's the idea that problem, there's lack of problem awareness, and I can do it myself, yet not aware of what's gone beyond what the limitations are.
yep. Love it,
The,
Phil.
the, the comfort zone.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Okay, that's good, you guys. So those are some opportunities and some threats. So I would encourage you, do your best, get to five. Can you find five opportunities and identify five threats in the next few minutes? Get creative. Some of these are going to be bang on, some of these are going to be totally wrong, but the idea here is get creative and give yourself the bandwidth to sink your teeth in here. Okay, one more minute, everybody. Okay, 20 seconds. Get those last ideas down. Okay, perfect. All right, how'd that feel? Get some good opportunities and concepts and threats out there that you need to be wary of. Gary's nodding his head. Good, good, good. Excellent. Phil, you got some good stuff there, buddy? Okay, perfect. Okay, everybody. Now, what you've got here in front of you, these four categories, these four distinct spaces, as entrepreneurs, this is how you dictate what you do next. Okay, you distill down some key pieces of information from here and you lean into these elements, right, to build out your objectives for the next quarter. We're going to do this more in person, but feel free to dive into this over the next few weeks before we do it. But we're going to start off. Our next Time to Thrive session is what, January the 8th or something like that, right? Where is my, there it is. Yeah, January the 8th. Hey, I got it. Yay. So next Time to Thrive will be January the 8th. So it's in 3 weeks from now, right? 1, 2, yes, 3 weeks. And that will be a 90-day goal planning session. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing, right? And you're going to be using this SWOT to help you dictate what those objectives are and be leaning into those things, right? And one of my commitments to you guys is to do a better job of giving you the space in this section of our Time to Thrive coachings to actually get the work done, right? I'm going to push us to be a little less verbose, and that's mostly on me, full responsibility here, right? At certain times throughout the coaching session in the first hour, so we can really get to making sure we get the pens rolling in the second half hour, right? Okay, but some good stuff out of there. All right, excellent. So I have 2 things to finish us up with. Well, including an announcement. So technically 3 things. So first off, you guys, one of the things when you're rolling out your content, when you're doing your marketing, when you're planning this stuff out, when you're making conversations with people over the next few weeks, I want you to think about one very specific tactic. Okay? Please do this. Because most of us are trying to speak to our clients and we're trying, or our prospects, and we're convincing them that we are their solution. Does anybody feel that way? That sometimes you're convincing people that you can help them, right? You're in the convincing process. So what you're doing is you're trying to fight your way through the frontal cortex. You are trying to battle your way through all of that person's predetermined logic and their smart brain, right? What we have to do is we have to get around that brain. That is the brain that says you're perfectly fine where you are. This person doesn't have your solutions. You've tried this before. It didn't work those other 72 times that you tried this process. What Phil is offering you is not going to be any different than what these other 72 people have offered you. I don't know why you're even in this call. I don't know why you're talking to this person. Blah, 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 blah. That is the frontal cortex. It wants to, right? It's the logic brain. We have to bypass it. In order to change someone's opinion, okay? In order to change their perspective, we have to get around that and come in the back door. Is everybody with me on this? Right? When you feel that resonance with somebody else, when you go, they've changed my opinion. I see the world a different way. They've been able to skirt around that frontal cortex, around that front lobe. They're getting around it. How are they doing it? Do you know how? What's that, Gary?
I think it's through questions. I think it's what is your problem? Explain your problem and how do you want it to be? And then it's as simple as when do you want to get started?
Okay. Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts on this?
Their emotion, where are they emotionally compared to where they are and where they want to be? Are they aware of the gap and what's their emotion with
Ooh.
that?
Excellent. You guys are thinking like technicians, and I love it.
Hmm.
But that's not how. You're absolutely right, Phil. It is emotion. So how do you get them to get into their feelings? Because they don't want to go there. They do not want to go there. You've been on the other side of sales calls. Do you want to get into your emotions with that salesperson? No. Because then you're vulnerable. So how do you get there, Andrew?
Make some personal connection.
Personal connection? Sure. There's one way. There's always been one way. Michelle says trust. Yes, absolutely. There's only ever been one way that one human being convinces another human being to see the world a different way.
Via rapport, which includes trust.
Story, Gary.
Story. Very good.
That's it. It's stories. That is it. It is one tactic only. This is the human culture, you guys, don't forget, has been an oratory storytelling culture for way longer than we've been able to write or read. Stories are what shape the human psyche. And you guys know this as personal development people. It's the stories we tell ourselves about ourselves that define us. Those aren't real. Those are narratives that we've come up with that we live over and over. We repeat them. We ingrain them into the etches of our brain. We develop these patterns in our head that we put there through our own decision narratives, whether we felt like we were making the decision or not, whether our parents put that framework into our heads or not. These are stories that we tell ourselves and we make manifest true. You all know this. You all know this. You live it every day. Every single day. So to skirt around all of that, this is not going to work for me, I can't trust this person, you have to tell great stories. And you have to do it in a way that is subtle and in a way that resonates. And I would love it to be a different solution. Guys, I would love it that we could convince other people through logic. But Darinka is on this call. And I'll tell you right now, there is no more illogical argument that I've ever run into in my life that dogs and cats should be eating cooked food. Pardon my language, but can the animal fucking cook? So either Mother Nature completely got them wrong and somehow miraculously has survived for 100,000 years before humans started making their food for them. But the fact is that dogs and cats are carnivorous animals that need to hunt, stalk, kill their prey, and consume it the way they find it. Full stop. The idea that we should be eating them a cooked grain-based kibble diet is so asinine and ridiculous, it defies all logic completely. It is a bigger marketing boondoggle than the cigarette industry from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Way bigger. The fact that Kraft has convinced us that Mother Nature knows nothing about dog food and that you should be buying from them and Nestle Purina and blah, 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 and they've convinced an entire veterinary industry of the same thing, is so mind-bogglingly illogical, it makes no sense. But you present that argument in front of somebody. You say, well, how is your dog and cat going to make this food? Can they cook it? Well, no, of course not. Then why would you eat cooked food? There's no logic behind it. It is a narrative that people have purchased. They've bought it. They've made the decision. They've implanted it, and it's hard to change. See what I'm getting at, you guys? The only way around that narrative is through story. The only way around that imprinted concept is through story. And so my point is, I would love it that people made logical decisions, that they weighed what you said, Phil, and they did checks and balances, and they said, Phil's absolutely right. This is really stupid. Why would I keep making this decision? But they don't do things that way. We don't make decisions that way. We make decisions based on our emotions, and then we legitimize that decision with our logic. So I want to give you a storytelling framework right now, very quickly, that I want you to use that helps you tell better stories. Okay? So there are 4 points to this. Okay? And so I want you to write these things down. The way to tell a great story. You put them in the action.
Put the client in the action.
No. Put the hero of the story, whoever it is, you, client, whatever, doesn't matter. Right? If we're watching James Bond, they don't start James Bond out with this really quiet, peaceful moment. What is James Bond doing? He's fighting. He's running. He's firing weapons, right? Daniel Craig is running across buildings to start off every James Bond movie. He is doing something ludicrous that human beings should not be able to pull off, right? Same thing with Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. They don't start them subtly. They start Tom Cruise climbing some bloody mountain cliff, and you're going, how is that even possible, right? We start him in the action. So rather than say something along the lines of, I'd like to take you back to a moment. No. Right? It is, so there I am. I'm sitting on this boat, and the stingray is literally coming up the side of the ship. And the first question you have is, what the heck are you talking? Like, what do you mean a stingray is coming up a side? Like, you're wondering, right? Or I can tell you real, there I am. I'm in the water. I'm bobbing in the beautiful Caribbean water, and this massive stingray is on my chest. Put the viewer, the listener, the reader, put them in the action. What's happening right now? Okay? Tell them what you were attempting to do, or what the hero of the story was attempting to do. So here I am, I'm in the water, I'm laying on my back, and this massive stingray is on top of me. And I got her there, right? Because I had this little piece of raw shrimp on my chest, and I wanted to touch a stingray. I wanted the ability to touch a stingray, right? And so we were out there with these guys, and they showed us how to lay down in Stingray City in the Caribbean, near the Cayman Islands, and lay down in the water and put this raw shrimp on your chest, and they would come for it. So put them in the action, tell them why you're there, what you're doing. And don't tell me how you felt. Don't tell us how you felt. That's up to me to decide. Here's an actor trick. You don't get to dictate what the audience feels. That's their responsibility. Right? But if you're a great storyteller, they're always going to feel the same thing. Let me tell you that. As long as they're not sociopaths, they will feel the same thing. So put them in the action. Tell them what you're there for, like why you're there. Number 3, what was actually said? Right? So I'm there, I'm laying on my chest, and I look over at this huge, big Jamaican guy, right? This massive man, this towering human being. And I'm like, are you sure about this? Right? Are you sure that this is going to work out? Because they could see the stingrays coming from the boat. They're coming in like this black wave, whoosh, whoosh, through the water, coming towards me, right? And the 2 or 3 other people that were out there with me. And I looked at him and I'm like, are you sure about this? He looks back at me and goes, oh, yeah, man. You stay still. Don't move. Don't move. Yeah, because stingrays, they got tails, right? Suckers hurt. So I'm telling, what did I say? Okay. Then after that, tell them what the hero thought. Not what they felt, what they thought. Because when we tell them how we thought, we're relating to them on a thoughts level, which is dictating the feelings. See how we're reverse engineering what we want. So I said to him, are you sure I should just lay here? He's like, oh yeah, man. You lay right there. Don't move. And I'm thinking to myself, those stingrays have got tails, man. Those things freaking hurt. I've been told. Do not step on a stingray around here. You will regret it for weeks. And I'm just laying there in the water hoping one of these things crawls up on top of me. I'm thinking to myself, what am I, crazy? You know what? How did I find myself in this? You know what? These were the Mai Tais. That's how I got here. That's how I found myself here. Those damn umbrellas. Screwed again by the umbrellas. That's what I'm thinking. See what I mean? Like, I'm not telling you how I felt. You know exactly how I feel because I told you what I was thinking. Way more powerful if I said, and I'm feeling nervous. You're like, yeah, whatever. But if I tell you what I'm thinking, now you get the chance to what? When I tell you what I'm thinking, what do you get the opportunity to do? Say it, Gary. Say it. You get to feel it. When I tell you what I'm feeling, you then think it, which is not what I want as a storyteller. It is a subtle difference, but it changes everything. Right? As an actor, as a performer, which frankly is what you guys are becoming, okay? Like it or lump it, that's what you're becoming. When you perform, you don't perform your feelings. You act the part. As a performer, as an actor, you don't feel shit. You are performing so the audience feels things. That's why somebody can be in the depths of despair that they just lost their child on a screen. 30 seconds later, they're sipping a cup of coffee. Because they don't feel anything. It is a performance, my friends. It's a performance. Is it exhausting? Absolutely. But it's not feeling anything. Does this make sense, everybody? Okay. So we've got this. I'm going to go over the 4 pieces again so far. Put them in the action. Tell them what you were doing. Dictate, tell us what you said in the moment. So we have an auditory element to what we're doing here, right? It could be, and I said nothing. You could hear a pin drop. You know what I mean? Like, either way, give us the auditory of what's going on. Right? Take care of our ears. Number 4, tell us what you thought or what the hero was thinking. Don't tell us what they were feeling. So far, so good? Okay, and the 5th element. As marketers, as salespeople, the whole point of this is to convince somebody to take the next step. So now we have to frame the story once it's finished for why you told it. We have to lean into the WIIFM. What is in it for me, for the person listening, watching, reading? What's the outcome of the story? And you have to tie it back to your offer. You have to tie it back to the next steps. Right? So I might finish my story by saying, and you know what? And this gorgeous, big black stingray comes up onto my chest, and she actually sucks the shrimp right out. And I felt bad because I've got some chest hair, you know? And so I've never seen a stingray cough before, but that happened. I'm kidding. But she gets the shrimp off my chest, and you know what the underside of a stingray feels like? It's like touching the most exquisite silk you can ever possibly imagine. And what's amazing is you can keep her there because stingrays, like an airplane, have to tilt to turn. So she couldn't leave. Now, I didn't want to get her frustrated. We're talking about those stingers, right? But for about, I would say 30 to 40 seconds, I had her right on top of me, right? And she's sucked that shrimp off, and I had her right on top of me. And she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is absolutely incredible. And then she starts to get a little more rigid and a little more twitchy. And then I just lean to one side, and she slips right off into the water. She was big, right? Way over top of my arms, right on top of me. And I thought to myself, the greatest experiences come from the moments of greatest courage. We don't get to do some of the most amazing things in life that we want to do without putting our asses on the line, without going there and being bold. And sure, there was a little bit of liquid courage involved, but the fact is that I still had to make the choice to go down there, to stand amongst hundreds of stingrays as they swarmed in, lay down, and just wait. And sometimes in business, that's what we have to do, right? We've got to stand there and put the bait on our chest and just be courageous enough to let whatever's going to happen happen. We got to be courageous. And that would be maybe the tie-in for the story. And I'm not saying that's perfect, you guys. I'm just giving you an example, right? Off the top of my head of how this works. And now the person on the other side, I've now skirted around their front lobe. I've told them a story about why being courageous in business is important from a completely unrelated topic, like an unrelated, actual story itself. But I've got to that spot. And now I say, you know what? And Gary, it's time to be courageous. If you want the greatest things in life, you've got to step up, man. How many people have had that could say that they've had a stingray right on top of them and they've held this like 6 foot wide stingray? Had to have the courage to go down to the Caribbean, had to have the courage to, do what I did, work there for a while. No, I had no money.
I had to have the money to get there.
Yeah, my dad bought me a plane ticket. But the fact is like whatever, that's not really relevant. It's that I told a story to get around, because if I'd said, Gary, in business, you have to be courageous, Gary is going to have all sorts of guardrails up that says, well, I've already done that. I've been courageous and not had the results I was looking for. I've done that or this, that, or the other thing. Or I had 92 other people tell me that I needed to be courageous. Why are you different? But I didn't take that angle, right? I told a story. Real quick, you guys, do you see how this works? And so those are the 5 elements. Now, I would add a 6th one to there, which is in business, you want a headline that's going to reason why you're telling the story, right? I know there's 5. Yeah, there's 5.
Wasn't that 5 though? Why you framed the story as to why I told the story?
Sure, but on the front end, I would encourage you guys, like that's a storytelling framework. I would encourage you guys to have a headline at the top of that story. So add a 6th element, a headline at the top that dictates why the person should listen. Because you don't want the first half of the story, the person on the other side going, why am I listening to this? What's in this for me? Right?
And so for the Stingray story, what would your headline be?
Yeah, something like, so if I'm busy having a conversation, right, and the person seems like they need that, I might say something along the lines, or if I'm doing it as a content piece, let's say, right, and I might frame it as going, I learned one of the most important business lessons I've ever learned laying on my back in the ocean in the Caribbean waiting for a predator. Right? And you're immediately going to go, what the heck is he talking about? Did he get
perfect? Because then they're going to want to listen to the next segment of the story.
You buy yourself 30 to 45 seconds with a headline like that.
Exactly.
And I don't know. I literally, guys, I just came up with this whole thing off the top of my head here. I mean, I knew what the framework was, but the story and everything like that. Yeah, the Devil Rays were a baseball team. That's funny, Phil.
That's questionable.
Okay, but does that framework help you guys?
Yes.
Yeah. I've been trying to compartmentalize how that works in my own head. All my 20 some odd years of acting from stage and everything else, and go, okay, how do I put this into a container?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So, real quick, you guys, January the 16th, I'm going to be doing a free to attend workshop similar to Profitable Promotions. We're going to call it Map Out Your Marketing ish. Haven't completely solidified the title yet, or something along those lines, but it'll basically be a 2-hour session where we're going to map out 2026 marketing objectives for a local business owner. So that is something that's great to invite people to if you want to check that out and earn some affiliate benefits. That's great if you want to attend it and map out some of the major blocks of what you want your marketing to be about for 2026. The idea here is that I'll be doing a rotating 3 workshops. So it'll be mapping out marketing, it'll be personal branding, and likely profitable promotions every quarter. So there'll be a workshop a month that if you want to invite people to, that's great. I love that. And if you want to attend, we're going to try it out on Fridays versus Saturdays, see what the attendance was in marketing, always be testing. So we're going to check out Friday in January, see how that goes. So we'll have more details of that coming. But I want to wrap up 2025's final Time to Thrive call as we've gone way over time, but I think it was valuable and worth it to get the storytelling framework stuff in. I think that'll serve you guys really well. Practice it with your family over the holidays. That's why I wanted to give it to you now. Now that you're aware of it, right, you may be consciously incompetent or consciously competent as you go through, okay, the holiday season, but test it out. Use it. See how it feels, right? Put people in the action. Tell them why you were there. Tell them what you were saying. Tell them what you thought. And give them a conclusion. But I'd love to hear from you guys real quick. What was a big part of 2025 in business for you? What was your big success, big accomplishment in 2025 in business for yourself? I want to hear from you guys. What was it that you're like, damn, I'm really proud of that for 2025? I'd love to hear from all of you if you can. I'd love
I would say doing these these videos.
it. Yeah.
Big obstacle for me.
Yeah. You broke the seal on that one, Gigi.
Yeah. Yeah. And I knew once I would start doing that it was going to just explode. And so it has.
Love it. Love it. Great. Thank you for that. And thank you for your commitment to that.
Yes. And
the world
thank
is a better
you for
place.
the motivation.
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely. Love it.
And you know, I want to add on to that, Michael, is that you said something about like I just lost my train of thought. Never mind.
Maybe it'll come back to you.
We'll come back.
It'll come back. Who else? What was a big proud thing for 2025 for you? Gigi finally getting those videos rolling and developing an audience that loves her. Perfect. What else we got?
Yeah, getting a program put together, people to serve with definite avatar, and thanks to you too, getting that whole process put together for the videos that we can get them out there, get the message, and that's really what it's all about.
Love it, Phil. Yeah, be in service. Yeah, very good. Thank you, my friend.
I guess for me, I guess when is actually putting money behind stuff and actually going through it with money behind. So I've been making videos, but not putting any money behind it. So you're not getting any traction. And same with like networking. I was joining networking groups and going there, but people weren't fully committed to the groups, or it'd be here and there. So being part of this launch group here in BC with the BNI, getting with BNI, fully being committed to that, getting that going, and the videos with putting money behind it. So making sure I'm actually investing in myself to grow my business, not just hoping something comes along the way. And so yeah,
love that,
investing in
Andrew. Love it. That is something we should frame, you guys. Put that on a t-shirt, right? Start investing in yourself. Stop hoping, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, hope doesn't work. Love it. Thank you, Andrew. Beautiful. What else? We've got a couple people that are not on camera here. I don't know if they can share. Kat or Drinka, is there a way to open up a microphone and share when your big proud elements of 2025? That'd be great. See what they
Hey,
have.
sorry, I've had
It's all good, Kat.
childcare problems this morning.
No problem.
um, but yeah, I'm proud of myself for keeping through with my business, even though it's been rocky, and excited for my third business that you guys are all going to find out about in the new year. And yeah, I'm glad that I made the decision to do this to grow my social media. And I was scared to do it, and I put you off for a long time. But I think it was a good decision, and it's just going to help me grow my next business. But I'm still doing my second business, but now I'll have three.
Kat is a glutton for punishment, you guys. Just a glutton for punishment. Drinka, how about you, my dear? Are you able to turn on your microphone and share with us at all?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Sort of like what Gigi had said, definitely doing the videos, but then also being consistent. And I can't tell you how glad I am that I did the videos a few days ago and scheduled them all because nobody wants to hear or see me right now.
Love it, Drinka. Yeah, consistency is the magic weapon, right?
Yeah, but I see the power of doing videos. I really do. It was hard, but it's really a good thing. So thank you for that.
Awesome.
Michael, I think it's not just doing the videos, but it's getting over ourselves, getting over that fear of what if I'm judged, or what if if it's not perfect? What if, that's what I was gonna say, is I have gotten to where I don't care what
Mm,
people think, because I know where I'm going and what I'm doing. And I know that I'm helping people. And if there's going to be haters. And I'm like, you know what? That's good, because I know I'm doing my job.
yeah. Love it,
So I
Gigi.
think that this whole video thing is like, that's just like fluff, right? It's all the crap that I had to go through to get to where I could do it. So
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Anybody else feel like Gigi's just like becoming like a battleship here, right? And like all of these haters and everything else, they're basically just people in little skiffs and sailboats. Like Gigi's just a freaking battleship. It's like whatever. You can even crash into me and I don't care. I don't
yeah.
even notice. It's like bump, what was that noise? Like boof, you were on your way, right? Love it. Thank you for the share, Gigi. And Gary, why don't you cap us off, my friend?
Yeah, 2025 major wins. Tons of training this past year. Actually being serious about my marketing and actually being able to see myself that I can get 20,000 plus viewers and responses and all that, given the system, which was magic. I'll call the third thing. I had my first paid speaking gig. I got $1,000 for 90 minutes. It was awesome.
Hmm.
Loved it, and it's just put me in a whole different stead. And in doing my videos and having those, I broke my tripod, so I got a new tripod.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent. Beautiful. Well, I want to say very much. Sorry, go ahead, Gary. Finish that.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Um, I just want to say, you guys, thank you so much from me to you. Um, I don't think I need to reiterate that 2025 was quite the year for me. So, having to stare down the shotgun barrel of you have cancer and going through the process that I had to go through. I mean, Andrew and I see each other in person all the time, and he can attest to the fact that I was considerably larger back in March and April, and then 45 pounds gone later of
There's other
just
ways to lose weight.
yeah, that there is better ways. Yeah. So it's been an incredible process in 2025. And you guys have been my battleship, right? Knowing that every week I have people that, you know, I can help, I can serve. Quite often, I have found in my life, for me personally, when I'm in my shittiest places, I just have to go help somebody else. As Phil beautifully put it earlier, it's not about us, right? A weakness is navel gazing, being, I can't remember how Phil put it, something about self, but yeah, right? And so having you guys here as people that are like, no, 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 get off your ass, right? Don't waste away, right? Yes, 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 you've got these challenges, but for the next 2 hours, you can turn your brain on and get your mouth to work. Although it couldn't for a good few month or so there. But very, very proud of all of you. Very proud of all of you for 2025. Each and every single one of you have taken huge strides forward, right? And that for me is my whole raison d'etre when it comes to time and what we're doing. So seeing your progress is what gives me lots of joy. And so thank you for crashing through those barriers. Yeah. Okay. Well, happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever it is that floats your boat. Much love from me to you guys. Everybody look for the 3-eye comet, 3-eye Atlas comet. Gary, what the heck is that thing out there? Do you know nothing about this? This
Nope.
bizarre comet? Oh man, I'll send Gary down a deep dive hole here. There is a comet, Gary, that is not acting like a comet. It is moving in ways that should not be happening.
Oh well, maybe it's moving actively.
Yeah, Kat says that ain't no comet. Yeah, it's doing very bizarre stuff. It has a 400,000 kilometer long tail.
Wow, that's
Yeah, that interestingly enough is not moving like dust. It's staying quite rigid.
Oh, that's odd.
Is it ever? And
that's just not what we've seen before. I'll leave it at that.
Leave it at that. Yeah.
Stuff that we haven't seen before. I mean, I always go back and with some of my clients when they don't get what they want done. I tell them, well, yeah, you know what? It wasn't all that long ago. We were all a bunch of cavemen, and we didn't realize that the sex act at plus 9 months made a baby.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Anyway, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you guys. Love y'all. Thanks for being here and playing full out. And yeah, let's keep up the great chat inside the messenger group. Keep posting videos, Andrew. Love it, buddy. Keep posting those videos. Keep getting them out there. And I'll make sure everybody knows lots about the 16th of January for the planning session. And don't forget, January the 8th, we are doing our 90-day goal setting. All righty. Okay. I'm signing off. Ciao for now, everybody.
Michael.
Have a great holiday season.
Happy holidays.
Lots of love.
Thank you, Michael.
Bye-bye.
Happy holidays to all.
Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's.
You betcha.